he's come to a lot of the same conclusions that I have, namely that evolutionary psychology, just like I said before, social circle game is game, pickup is a subset. This is what I said before. All psychology is evolutionary psychology. All psychology is evolutionary psychology. A subset of evolutionary psychology is behavioral psychology, but the people who teach behavioral psychology think it's the other way around. B.F. Skinner got it backwards. All of our preferences come through evolution, and that's essentially what Dr. Buss was talking about.
What is meant by breaking rapport? So when I Google it, it comes up with some very vague things. What is meant by breaking rapport?
All right, this is great. So this term actually, like I'm going to give credit to him. The term, I actually stole it from Adam Lyons. So what it means is, and I use it for something else. So when Jordan Belfort talks about breaking rapport, he means severing rapport. He actually means like a bad thing. When I say breaking rapport, it's a colloquialism. I shouldn't be calling it that. It's a misnomer. What I should be saying is subverting expectations or breaking the status quo. Communicating with Lacey and Liddy in a way that they wouldn't expect, but they find pleasant. Like, for instance, whenever I talk to Sid Wilder, I talk to her about like intellectual stuff. She's not used to men in Los Angeles doing that with her because she's so motherfucking gorgeous. Like, she's just used to men just being like kind of rude or like trying to pigeonhole her as a certain type of person. And so what you do by the way you subvert expectations is, again, by like, instead of me saying, hey, Liddy, let's go to dinner or let me try to hook up, I'm like, Liddy, help me raise money for these animals. Do you see how that subverts expectations, Ice? Do you see that? That's a break in rapport. You can break a rapport through preselection. So for instance, another thing would be like a girl who was like kind of like rude to me about whatever. And then all of a sudden she goes to my Instagram and then she sees, oh, wait, what the fuck? Okay. Here he is doing this. This is a break and rapport through preselection. There's also a break and rapport through comedy. Break and rapport through comedy is like when I go on stage and I'm like, hey guys, remember, if you're ugly, please use a condom. That's break and rapport through comedy. And then there's so break and rapport through comedy. There's a break and rapport. You can also break rapport through value arbitrage, where you introduce someone to someone else. So like, for instance, Ice, if you and me were talking, we're just having a normal conversation, and I turn to my right and it's like, oh, Ice, do you know Mystery? This is Mystery. And then I turn to my left like, hey, Ice, this is Jeff Bezos. You'd be like, what the fuck? That's a break and rapport through value arbitrage. Does that make sense? So whatever it is, you have to think about the matrix. So like, think about if I took Lacey or Liddy to Excess, they're going to be on stage, like literally on stage. They're so pretty. They're just going to be asked to go up on stage. When they're on stage, if you come in and let's just say you have some clients with you, your clients are not going to be asked to go on stage. So the normal progression of the night is going to go like this. The normal progression of the night is going to go, here is Lacey and Liddy. They're up on stage with Marshmallow paying no fucking attention to you. You do not exist to them. This is you and your clients on the dance floor having no status and not just looking up and seeing Lacey and Liddy on stage. The normal progression of the night is to go like this. You guys pass by each other and there's nothing. Breaks and rapport cause ripples in the matrix. And those ripples then cause for you to, you bump into them at the bathroom. Or something like that. A fight breaks out, or some level of chaos that creates a situation to where you meet Liddy face to face for the first time. Like, for instance, coming on this call, like Liddy knows what you look like now. Maybe if you're ever in Vegas, you bump into Liddy. Oh my God, it's Ice. Stuff like that. These are breaks and rapport. Does that make sense? Okay. Yeah. Again, think about a girl talking to me in a club and I look boring, and she's completely bored by me. And then while I'm having this conversation, Kim Kardashian comes up, gives me a hug and kisses me on the cheek. The dynamics of the conversation immediately change because of a break in rapport. Does that make sense? Yeah. So a break in the status quo or a subversion of what is expected. That's what breaks and rapport mean. Got it? That's my definition of it. So guys, you're playing different games. Do you understand? If you go to a pool, and Liddy can talk about this, if we go to Marquee and you have spent the entire winter bulking up, then you take Tren and Deca and fucking some sort of estrogen blocker, and you're super ripped and you have tattoo sleeves and you're wearing like these super tight like pants. You're playing a game. And that is the I have a better physique than other men game. And I'm taking testosterone and steroids game. Do you understand? That's one game, Charles. Okay. That's a game. Okay. A different game is I have a Gucci belt on and a Patek watch that's encrusted with diamonds while I'm throwing money in the air, ordering bottles of Dom at the club. Do you understand? That's a different game. Mm-hmm. Do you understand how those two games are different? Yeah. They're both men conveying status, but they're different games. Okay. A different game might be.
Hi guys, I'm at the Cavs game and
Oh, look at this. There we go. Why don't you stunt on us a little bit some more, huh? Hey, is that hockey? We don't even know, Andy. Is that a sport? We're not sure.
Oh,
Andy, what are you doing? What's going on? Charles, so do you understand how you're playing a different game in each one of these things? There's another game you can play, and that game is I'm just going to wear like an average blazer, a black t-shirt, a really expensive watch, and then I'm going to pull up in the Lamborghini. That's a different game you're playing.
You know, we like average blazers, not going to lie. Me and Tori over here love average blazers. Yes. We love average blazers. Like, wait, it's not a problem.
Hello, wait. When you say average blazers, are we talking about like Dame Lillard and CJ McCollum? Or are we talking about the
average blazers? But if you take us to like a random hockey game, we will definitely throw some pussy into that game too, as well.
Dude, who is talking right now? Is this Andy Candy? You're a married woman. How are you talking like this? So every time we do this, we're playing a different game. Do you understand? Mm-hmm. We're going to play the money game. We could play the looks game. We could play the charisma game. We could play another game is you're just a normal dude, but you're Justin Timberlake. So you dress normal and you show up and everyone knows who you are. That's a different game. These are all different games that you can play. So when it comes to when she's talking about style, if you want to play the Gucci belt game, you have to go full on with the Gucci belt game. You can't be second place. You understand?
Yeah.
But if you go the way that, like what I'm saying, where I wear clothes that fit me properly, and then I build my status through connections and charisma and stuff like that. I'm not competing with the Gucci belt or the fucking roid head. Do you see that? You see how I'm not competing? Here's the thing, Charles, when you lead with money, you always have to lead with money every time. There's no such thing as the guy who like pays for everyone's dinner every night and then starts dating the girl and is like, hey, I want you to see me more as a lover instead of a provider.
That's facts. Absolutely. Like, you have to get something out of my friends. Like, have a girl that has everything like that. She can go hunting with you, but she can also go see your parents, and also she can dress up but she can also go out to Caps games with you, because seriously, or LA Knights games, Las Vegas Knights. I'm so sorry. I've had quite a few this evening, but seriously, like, Michael's on point with this right now. Like, you have to have a girl that has it all. You can't just have her go to a game with you and not be mom and dad. That's not fucking cool. We don't do that. No, baby.
What you want to do is you want to pick something that you can win at. Okay. Or at least compete. So for me, the game is charisma and fit. It's not charisma and Gucci belt. Okay. I don't want, because the problem with when you have the 2018 Lambo, the guy with the 2019 Lambo just big dicks you. That's the problem.
Period's over. I really have to go. I'm so sorry.
Okay. All right, Andy, we love you.
I have to go. Like, the intermission is over. I'm so sorry.
Okay, go watch.
But yes,
hockey.
No Gucci belts. Fuck the Gucci belts. Let me wear the Gucci belts. You guys don't need to wear the Gucci belts. I don't need a man to wear Gucci belts. It's weird.
All right. So now, but Charles, do you understand? We don't want to compete in this game, right? So for instance, if I wanted to show off my athleticism to a woman, I'm going to play basketball. I'm not going to play hockey. I'm better at basketball. So if I have a physique where I can wear a black shirt and show off my physique, that I'm in shape, not that I'm super heavy muscular, like super muscular, and then I can show my charisma and I can project my voice. If I can do that, that's better than me trying to play the fucking Lamborghini Gucci belt game. Does that make sense?
It makes sense.
When you go in that game, now here's the other thing. You can play the suit game. The suit game is an easy game to play that's not super expensive. Also, if the suit is tailored correctly. But what you don't want to do, now, listen, if you're Dan Bilzerian, you do want to play this game. If you're Dan Bilzerian, you want to play the monster truck, sniper rifle, helicopter, let's go to Saint-Tropez and Monaco game. You want to play that game because you're going to win, right? Does that make sense, Charles?
Yeah.
So the problem is what happens is, these guys, like, especially, like, I grew up around a lot of drug dealers, and these guys would always try to play the money game when they had a little bit of money, and they were always getting stomped on. That's the problem. You don't want to play that game. You want to play the game you're going to win. For me, the public speaking game is a game I'm going to win most of the time, right? I'm going to win that game, unless it's Mark Chinook is really great. But you understand? So I want to play a game. I want to be in an arena where I'm going to win. What you don't want to do is another game that I see. A lot of guys playing is the good looking game. I'm the good looking guy who doesn't talk, and I just chill off in the corner. It's good to play the good looking game when you're good looking, but when a better looking guy comes in the room, then you lose that game. When you try to play the muscle game, you lose that when the guys from Down Under come and take your girl. So what you want is not to try to play that one game that gets you fucked up. And one of those games is spend money at the club game, pull up with the Lambo game, or the other one that, let's just be real, the other game is the cocaine game. Oh, I have better coke than the next guy. That's another game that they play. Go ahead.
What about like if you're like 70% in multiple games? I mean, does it like
it's good, but I will tell you, Anthony, because you have a personality, that the personality game is always going to be. So for us, because we're men of action, we have some status, and we also have an abundance mentality. The getting people to qualify to us game, we're going to win that one every time. Do you understand? That's a game just like the Lambo game. It's a different game. It's a different form of communication, a subtle communication. Getting Liddy to talk to me about the things going on in her life is actually a better way of me engaging with her rather than materialistic things. You see what I'm saying, Anthony?
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, what if you have a little bit of money? You're not going to win that game, but you also have
not only you're not going to win that game, you're going to get embarrassed.
I'm just saying, like, just. What if you have, the fashion, like somewhat of the fashion game, you have the charisma, you have the personality, you have, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not the top in any category, but you're above average in multiple games.
It's better than not being above average in multiple games. But the problem is, like, when the breath game, the hygiene game is at a 0, that's when you're fucked, right? Yeah. Having all of those above a pass it. Go ahead.
I think people have less game in the charisma area, so that is a good one to definitely shine.
Exactly my point to Anthony is that when we are able to break rapport and get people to qualify to us, there's so few people, so few men capable of that, and there's so few men capable of communicating with a woman like she's a human being. That's such an easy game to win. Okay. Andy Candy is not going on somebody else's show saying, I love you guys, I miss you guys. She's coming on mine. Think about that. Do you understand what I'm saying? There's a reason for that, because the charisma game and the empathy game is a game we as men don't have much competition in and can win. Just no one taught us. It's just that no one taught us this game. And so because we didn't know, because of social media, we don't communicate face to face. We're passive aggressive. We don't know how to make eye contact. We don't know how to project our voice. So when we learn that, which is what Men of Action is, then we can win that game every time. You see what I'm saying? So the shirt that fit, go ahead.
I said, plus it feels better if like a girl likes you for your charisma or your personality instead of,
because I can always bring that with me. Because I can, okay. So you guys who watch a lot of sports, you know that teams sometimes, I'll use basketball because it's my favorite sport. Teams can shoot the ball better when they're at home, and they shoot the ball worse when they're away. It has to do with travel and just being unfamiliar with the environment. Sometimes it has to do with like altitude, like when you play in Denver. So teams will shoot better when they're home, and they'll shoot worse when they're away. But what can they always take with them? Does anybody know? What travels with you in football and in basketball? What travels with you? Does anybody know?
Defense.
Defense travels with you. Okay. Defense you can take with you on the road. Your charisma you can take with you on the road. You guys see that?
If you could box or if you could fight, right? Like, you're always gonna be able to fight. You don't have to depend on a weapon or something, right?
Correct. Okay. Yeah.
Weird analogy.
No, I use that analogy. Bringing the gun with you is like the thing you have to bring with you, where your hands are always with you.
Yeah.
Charisma is the thing you can always bring with you. Charisma is like defense. You can take it with you on the road. That's why I'm always going to say a black shirt and charisma will trump the Gucci belt. That's my point. What can we take with us on the road? What can we have with us always? And then when we're in a room, like, again, I feel like my ability to break rapport and get people to qualify to me is something that I can do in a room when I'm sitting next to Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, and Justin Timberlake in the same room. I can still use that. What I can't use in that room is money or looks or fame. And I'm going to get just stomped on in that room. But my charisma and my intellectual curiosity that I bring with me onto the podcast, I can take that with me into that room, and I'm never going to get stomped on. Make sense, Charles?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's what the first pillar of MOA and MOA Advance is about, is the social networking aspect of it. That's what you can take with you on the road.